This is Intuitive Edge. Welcome to my channel. This is where we take an intuitive look at what's going on in our world. So today I want to talk about just a couple of thoughts that I had. And I might just talk for maybe a few minutes. I'll try not to make this terribly long. But I have a thought that I want to get across and convey that came to me earlier today. So I'm beginning to become convinced that President Donald Trump is in fact a stable genius. Now, before you turn me off, if you hate Trump, listen to me before you turn it off. And if you're a Republican who supports Trump, but you're becoming disillusioned, hear me out as well, because I think I will offer you some help as well on this. Now, in the recent news, with all of the gun violence, the hysteria that comes with that, people on all sides of that issue are hysterical. As soon as there is a mass event, such as we saw this weekend, the left comes out and goes crazy for screaming about gun control. And the right gets fearful and perplexed because they see this as an infringement on their right to self-protect, and they don't want any part of that. And so it further causes a division and a divide in society like what we're seeing now. Now, throw that in the mix with the president coming out and appearing to side a little bit with the Democrats in terms of gun control. Trump comes out and he's saying things like, let's work together, find ways to address this issue, let's work on a solution. And the left is kind of like, we don't really want to, they say they want to work on a solution. And the Republicans are freaking out because they're seeing it as Trump somehow caving, and that Trump is going to go a little hard with the gun control. So I want to throw my thoughts into this because I have a different take on what's really happening. Trump knows that the last thing that the Democrats anywhere will do is work with him. He knows this. There is nothing too good to be true that he would work on, that the Democrats would come alongside him and want to work on. Going into an election year coming up, they're not going to do anything that is going to help Trump in any way or make Trump look good. And Trump knows this. And Trump also knows that the Democrats are a little bit caught in a hard place because they need the president's support on legislation that gets passed. If it gets put on his desk, he needs to sign it. They need him to go along with them, but they're not willing to give him that satisfaction. And Trump is using that to his advantage. Now, for the Republicans who are freaked out going, oh, he's caving on this important issue, and I think that the president is playing chess with this. I think he knows full well that he could promise Democrats the moon and they would reject it. Now, do any of you remember back, I don't know when it was last year sometime, I think, when Chuck and Nancy went to the White House and they were supposed to do this big thing and get along with Trump and work on, I think it was the DACA. Trump offered them a sweetheart deal that would have given them basically everything that they were asking for, and then some. It was giving all of the DACA people like residency. It was giving them like a permanency for 20 years or some number. And Chuck and Nancy were like, no, this is not good enough. Well, Trump knew that they would do that. He knew that they would not want anything to do with having a partnership of any kind seen with President Trump. Their pride would not allow them to give Trump the satisfaction of working together. And he knew that. So he could promise them, oh yeah, and heck, maybe he'd throw in, $1 billion for reconstruction. He could have done anything, knowing that they were going to say no. What they should have done is called his bluff. Not that President Trump was necessarily bluffing, because I think he would have held to his word on what he was offering. But he knew that they wouldn't, so he could offer them just about anything. Make him look good and make them look like the holdouts. And I think that's what he's doing with this gun control issue. So for those that are freaking out that Trump is caving on the guns, I would say he's not. I think he's wanting to look like he is approachable and wanting to have common sense legislation. Let's work together. Let's get something done. Knowing that going into an election year, the Democrats aren't going to have anything to do with it. And yet, so he's making them to fight their own agenda, fight what they're wanting to get to do. If he was to come out and be the opposite and to really, support the hardline Second Amendment agenda, then it would cause a further divide between the left and the right, and the media would be able to use this as a tool to really push President Trump into a corner, paint him into a corner. And so by him being willing, or at least saying that he's willing to work with them, and that he's willing to look at different avenues of maybe some gun control, he's diffusing their argument. He's taking it away from them. So I wanted to point this out to especially people on the right who are a little bit fearful about the gun thing. I think President Trump, I really think that this is what's happening, is that he's using this as an opportunity to diffuse their argument, to take their ammo, to throw a pun in there, pun intended, take their ammo from them and diffuse it and use that against them instead of them using that hot button issue against him going into an election year. He's going to be able to say, hey, I tried to work with them and they won't work with me, knowing full well that they won't, and they never will. So that's my thoughts. Leave your comments. If you have any thoughts or comments, ideas, leave your thoughts below. Love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. Bye for now.